Welcome back, deep divers. I was thinking, so many of us grew up with Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Right. Those books and movies, they really captured our imaginations.
Oh, absolutely.
But I've always wondered about the places behind the magic, the actual spots where they filmed those incredible scenes.
You mean like how much of Hogwarts is real?
Exactly. And not just Hogwarts, Diagon Alley, the Ministry of Magic, all of it.
Well, get ready to have your mind blown, because today we're diving deep into the real-world locations of the Harry Potter films.
I am so ready for this. And we've got some great sources to help us on this quest. We've got Rick Steves, the travel guru.
Always a good perspective.
Then there's the Visit Britain Guide, the official word on all things British tourism.
Straight from the source.
And to top it off, we've got a movie news article that spills some behind-the-scenes secrets.
Ooh, juicy.
So let's start our journey right in the heart of it all.
You mean?
London. Where else? The first few movies are practically a love letter to the city.
True that.
Remember that scene in The Sorcerer's Stone where Harry first discovers he can talk to snakes?
At the zoo.
Yep, the London Zoo's reptile house. It's so clever, right? They take this totally normal, everyday place and make it magical.
It's like saying magic could be anywhere, even in a reptile house.
And then, bam! We're whisked away to Diagon Alley. And where do they find this hidden wizarding world?
Leadenhall Market.
Leadenhall Market. And not just any part of it. The entrance to the Leaky Cauldron.
42 Bull's Head Passage.
That's the one. And it's not some movie set. It's a real, working Victorian market. You can practically smell the spices and hear the shopkeepers hawking their wares.
Imagine centuries of history, and now it's a gateway to magic.
Speaking of gateways, we have to talk about King's Cross Station.
Platform 934. Every Potterhead's dream.
The Visit Britain Guide actually mentions that they had to renumber platforms 4 and 5 during filming to create the illusion.
Really?
Yeah. And today, you can go there and take a photo with the disappearing luggage trolley. It's a full-blown tourist attraction.
Oh, I bet the lines are crazy.
Probably. Oh, and get this. In the Chamber of Secrets, they use the exterior of St. Pancras International Station for King's Cross.
Ah, St. Pancras. All that gorgeous Gothic architecture.
Makes sense, right? They wanted that visual impact.
For sure.
All right, next stop, Lambeth Bridge. Remember the night bus scene in The Prisoner of Azkaban?
Oh yeah, the one where it squeezes between two double-decker buses.
Pure chaos.
But that-
And then poor Mr. Weasley struggling with the Oyster card readers at Westminster Underground Station in the Order of the Phoenix.
Hilarious. It's so relatable, that feeling of being out of your depth with technology.
Totally. Now, the Half-Blood Prince takes us to some interesting spots.
Yeah, okay. Like,
We see City Hall, all sleek and modern.
wait, isn't that a bit of an anachronism?
The movie news article actually pointed that out. City Hall wasn't built until 2002, but the film is set much earlier.
Interesting. Maybe they just love the look of it.
Same thing with the Millennium Bridge collapsing in that film. That bridge opened in 2000. Timeline-wise, it doesn't quite fit.
Maybe they took some creative liberties for the wow factor.
Probably. Okay, quick stop at Piccadilly Circus.
Harry, Ron, and Hermione on the run. Classic.
And just so you know, that statue everyone thinks is Eros,
Yeah.
it's actually Anteros, his brother.
Huh. Learn something new every day.
And speaking of government and ministries, Whitehall served as the exterior for the Ministry of Magic,
With that iconic red phone box on Scotland Place.
which, according to Rick Steves, was just a prop.
So much for movie magic.
Now, for the interior of Gringotts, they went all out. They filmed in Australia House,
Australia, huh?
the Australian High Commission. It's this grand, opulent building, perfect for a goblin bank.
You can just picture all that marble and gold.
The Visit Britain Guide mentions it was also used in Wonder Woman.
Wow, this building's a movie star.
And just around the corner, that memorable phone box scene for the Ministry of Magic.
Where was that?
The junction of Great Scotland Yard and Scotland Place.
So they really did haul that phone box all over London.
They must have. Okay, on to Grimmauld Place. You know, the black family home.
Yeah, kind of creepy, that place.
It's on Claremont Square, and the Visit Britain Guide points out that the square has this unusual elliptical shape.
Elliptical. Why is that?
Apparently, it used to be a water reservoir back in the 18th century.
Fascinating. I love how these places have layers of history.
Me too. And our last stop in London is St. Pancras Renaissance Hotel.
Wait, wasn't that used for King's Cross?
It was. They used the exterior in the Chamber of Secrets, and in the same movie, they used the interior as the station entrance.
That's a versatile building.
It is, and they've used it in tons of other films too.
I guess that Gothic revival style is just irresistible to filmmakers.
Okay, ready to leave London?
Let's explore.
We're headed to the areas around Bath. That's where they found some amazing spots for Hogwarts.
Really?
Yeah. The cloisters of Gloucester Cathedral, for example.
Gloucester Cathedral. Wow.
Stunning place. Those vaulted ceilings are incredible. They used it in the Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, and the Half-Blood Prince.
Must have been breathtaking to film there.
Absolutely. And the movie news article mentions they made some temporary changes to the cathedral for filming, make it look more Hogwartsy.
Makes sense.
And then there's Lecoq Abbey.
Lecoq Abbey. What's that like?
It's this historical gem. Dates back to the 13th century.
Wow.
It was originally founded by a woman named Lady Ela, and it was tied to the medieval wool trade.
The wool trade. That's so different from the image of Hogwarts.
Right, but they used it for all sorts of Hogwarts scenes. Remember the Quidditch team selection in the Sorcerer's Stone?
Yeah.
That was filmed in the halls of Lecoq Abbey, and even Snape's potions classroom was there.
It's amazing how they transform these places.
Now let's head south, near Brighton. Have you ever seen the Seven Sisters chalk cliffs?
Oh, they're beautiful.
They are.
Sure.
In the Goblet of Fire, that's where the portkey lands for the Quidditch World Cup.
Right.
The Visit Britain guide says they're often used as a stand-in for the White Cliffs of Dover in films.
Probably because they're undeveloped and look more timeless.
Exactly. Okay, next up, a place that just screams Hogwarts.
Let me guess. Oxford.
Bingo! Christ Church College, that grand staircase.
The one that leads to the Great Hall.
That's the one, although the actual Great Hall scenes were filmed at Leavesden Studios.
So the real staircase was just the inspiration.
Yep, and the Hogwarts Library.
Where was that filmed?
The Bodleian Library, specifically Duke Humphrey's library.
Oh, I've seen pictures of that. It's so atmospheric.
And the Hogwarts Infirmary?
Don't tell me. Another part of the Bodleian.
The Divinity School, to be exact.
Oxford really was the perfect choice for Hogwarts.
Absolutely. Oh, and remember that scene where Mad-Eye Moody turns Draco into a ferret?
How could I forget that?
That was filmed in the cloisters of New College.
Another Oxford gem.
The Visit Britain guide even mentions that they hold a murder mystery event there every year.
That's fitting.
Now we're going further north. Durham and Northeast England.
Okay, what's up there?
Durham Cathedral. It's this magnificent building founded way back in 1093.
Wow.
It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site now, and they used it for tons of Hogwarts scenes throughout the series.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that beautiful scene in the Sorcerer's Stone with Harry and Hedwig in the snowy cloister?
Oh, yeah, that's a classic.
Durham Cathedral.
Amazing.
And then, for those quintessential Hogwarts exterior shots.
Hogwarts exterior.
Alnwick Castle.
Alnwick Castle, that's the one.
They also filmed the broomstick riding lessons there in the Sorcerer's Stone and the Chamber of Secrets.
It's crazy to think those places are real.
I know, right? Alnwick Castle is actually the second largest inhabited castle in England. It's been home to the Dukes of Northumberland for centuries.
So it's like stepping right into history.
Totally. Okay, ready for a visit to Hogsmeade?
Always.
In the Sorcerer's Stone, they used Glenfinnan train station as Hogsmeade Station.
Glenfinnan Station, where's that?
It's in the North Yorkshire Moors National Park. Super picturesque.
Not bad.
Fun fact. The Visit Britain guide says it was also used in the British TV show Heartbeat.
So it's got that classic English countryside charm.
Absolutely. And now, for some seriously dramatic scenery, we're off to the Scottish Highlands.
The Highlands. Yes.
They used the areas around Fort William and Glencoe for those stunning exterior shots of Hogwarts and its grounds.
Oh, I can picture now all those misty mountains and lochs.
It's truly magical. And of course, we can't forget the Glenfinnan Viaduct.
The Hogwarts Express.
The one and only. That viaduct was completed in 1898. It's a feat of Victorian engineering.
It's such an iconic image.
And they used it in several films, not just The Sorcerer's Stone, The Chamber of Secrets, The Prisoner of Azkaban, The Goblet of Fire.
It's like the Hogwarts Express is a character itself.
Totally. And those beautiful lochs that surround Hogwarts.
Which ones do they use?
Loch Shiel, Loch Ilt, and even Loch Morar. They were all used as the Great Lake in various films. And for the Triwizard Tournament in the Goblet of Fire, they used Steel Falls.
Steel Falls, I've heard of that. Isn't that near Ben Nevis?
It is, and Glencoe itself, with its dramatic landscapes, was used for Hagrid's hut and other outdoor scenes.
Glencoe is so beautiful, but also kind of haunting.
It's known as the Glen of Tears because of its history. And it's not just Harry Potter that's been filmed there. They've filmed scenes for Monty Python and the Holy Grail and Skyfall there.
Wow, it's a popular spot for filmmakers.
They even filmed some exterior scenes for the Half-Blood Prince in the village of Glenfinnan.
That's where the viaduct is, right?
Exactly. And speaking of filming logistics, the Lochaber Rural Complex near Fort William was used for indoor filming and as office space during The Prisoner of Azkaban.
Really? Why there?
Apparently, the weather was pretty bad during filming.
Makes sense. The Scottish weather can be unpredictable.
And of course, the star of the show, the actual Hogwarts Express.
The Jacobite steam train.
You got it! The Visit Britain Guide has all the info on its route and operating season.
I'd love to take a ride on that someday.
Me too! Now, let's jump to a few more locations a bit further afield. Malham Cove in Skipton. That was used for Harry and Hermione's campsite in the Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Malham Cove. I've seen pictures. It's stunning.
It's known for its unique limestone pavements.
And the Quidditch World Cup in the Goblet of Fire.
They filmed that in Ashridge Wood in Newbury.
What's special about Ashridge Wood?
It's got this incredible diversity of plants and trees.
Beautiful.
And for Malfoy Manor in the Deathly Hallows.
Malfoy Manor.
They used Hardwick Hall in Derbyshire.
Hardwick Hall. Tell me more.
It's this gorgeous Renaissance-style house. It's owned by the National Trust now.
I'm sensing a theme here. A lot of these places are historically significant.
Definitely. It adds a whole other layer to the films.
Agreed.
And guess what? They even filmed a scene in Ireland.
No way.
Yeah. The Cliffs of Moher.
The Cliffs of Moher. That's amazing.
They used them for the exterior of the cave with the Horcrux in the Half-Blood Prince.
Wow. So they actually ventured outside of Britain for that one.
They did. And finally, we can't forget the studios themselves.
Leavesden Studios.
That's where they built all those incredible interior sets. The Great Hall, the Gryffindor Common Room, the Forbidden Forest.
It's basically Hogwarts HQ.
Right. And the movie news article says that Leavesden Studios is now a major tourist attraction. You can take tours of the sets and see the props.
How cool is that?
And they even had a miniature model of Hogwarts that they used for those epic aerial shots.
So much detail went into these films. It's incredible.
So there you have it. A whirlwind tour of the real-world locations behind the Harry Potter films, from bustling London to the rugged Scottish Highlands, and even a touch of Ireland.
Who knew there was so much real-world magic hidden in these movies?
It makes you think, doesn't it? How these places, some of them famous landmarks in their own right, were transformed into the wizarding world we know and love.
It definitely adds a whole new level of appreciation for the films.
It does. So, deep divers, I have a question for you. Does knowing the real history and geography behind these scenes change how you watch the movies? Do you see them differently now? And maybe, just maybe, does it inspire you to explore some of these places yourself? Imagine standing where Harry stood, feeling the magic firsthand. What secrets of your own might you uncover? Something to ponder, wouldn't you say?
I think that's a perfect note to end on.
Until next time, keep diving.
And keep the magic alive.